Everybody, man, I got a lot to talk about in this video, and I didn't put any notes down, so I'll probably ramble as I always do and go down some rabbit holes. And I've had this on my video to-do list for a while. I've actually got a ton of videos or a ton of topics and interesting things to make some videos on coming up, but we have just been so busy, so busy, and couldn't be happier to have the problem of being busy. I'm a big believer in good problems, and I will take these good problems all day long. But I do want to get right into talking about the Zillow Flex program. So for customers, consumers, buyers, sellers, right? You've probably never heard the term Zillow Flex, but if you're an agent and what I would say an active agent, for a couple years, you've definitely heard of the Zillow Flex program, which is basically a partnership referral program that is invite only. It's super hard to get into. I remember when I first heard about it a couple years ago, it wasn't even here in East Tennessee. And I remember they brought it here. And you can't just reach out. You can't just apply to it. Cause I've had a Zillow partnership, probably since arguably 2018, 19. Right, at a very small level, and what that means is, I was basically purchasing zip codes. So when people would call in, this is how everything's done in real estate. You submit your information on a website. For the most part, you're going to get contacted with usually a buying showing agent, which is what we are to essentially Zillow. And so you would get connected with me. You want to go see a house, and then I would meet you out there and show you a house. So I've had a partnership with them for a long time, but I was paying for that, right? Paying for the opportunity to get those phone calls. As a business, you got to get, arguably leads, and that's how you meet people, new people. So, we have just grown, incredibly, or at a rate and to a level that I never seen. I always tell, people and the agents, I never had this vision. I never had this goal. Actually, if you know me business-wise, I don't have goals. Goals don't motivate me. I don't like goals for me personally. Now, I don't hate on people who need goals and hate on people who have goals. I will help you, get there and talk through those and believe that motivates you, then yes. But I've kind of always looked at, if I have goals, business-wise, real estate-wise, something like that, that I'm putting my needs before someone else's. When I got in this industry, really for having an experience I thought that could be better. Nothing shady. I just thought that the experience could have been a lot better from my shoes, and my background being in experiential marketing, making sure people have a good experience while they're with the brand and the service or the product, whatever that may be. I just felt that I was hey, if this person can do this and they're extremely successful, I feel like I can kind of bring a different concept to it. Cause I've been in marketing, majority of my professional career. But it was never no sales. And I love that, right? I could inform people, I could educate people, I could help people. And ultimately, right, it's their decision if they go and buy it. They couldn't even buy it from me. I never sold anything. And I was very anti-sales. I can't stand the concept of trying to sell the car salesman and your people Grant Cardone and Andy L. Although I like a lot of the concept of some of the things that they do and say and the motivation and the work ethic and all that stuff. But what I don't like is pressuring people, how they overcome objections, and putting people in an awkward spot to take advantage of them, being, potentially insecure and unable to, almost bully them into buying something. That's the way I kind of look at that. And I was just very anti that. So when I got into real estate, my concept of no sales, just service, actually a client gave me that slogan, and it was all about, for me, is I want somebody to have a great experience. You know, I want someone to, during the buying and selling process, always know what's going to happen next, always know what they're signing, always understand it. And again, I got into this with no experience. Nobody was helping me. You know, the people who I called getting my license before, oh yeah, I'll help you, and call me and blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't answer my phone calls. They damn sure didn't help me. Because in a way, I'm competition to them. And I see that, I understand that. And especially understanding that now from my shoes. Now, I'm always transparent with people who call me about thinking about getting their license and how does it work and everything like that, because I don't want to lead people on. It is, real estate is not hard work, but it is about sacrifices. You know, if you're working 80 hours a week in real estate, you should be making a significant amount of money. And most people will never work 80 hours a week. And there's been weeks where I've done it, but I don't work 80 hours consistently. You know, done it. But the problem is most people aren't willing to make the sacrifice. And what I mean by that is, oh yeah, I'm willing to come in and work 9 to 5. Well, I don't want to answer my phone in the evenings and the weekends when I'm at dinner or at my kids' ball games. I don't want to miss dinner, or I don't want to miss my kids' ball games. I don't want to miss the game on Saturday. I don't want to miss the game on Sunday. I don't want to miss my social gatherings, outings with my friends, vacations. I don't want to work on vacation. And if you don't want to do those things, real estate's not for you. It is not. This is a 365, 24/7. You know, our schedule is on our client's time. And that's my schedule, right? I'm headed out here on a Sunday. I worked all day yesterday. I literally left the house yesterday at like 8:45, and I didn't get home until right at like 7. You know, arguably a 10-hour day, but it was great. I had 3 different clients spread out between Rockwood, 10 Mile, Sweetwater, and then ended up in Lenore City. But that's real estate, right? You have to be willing to make those sacrifices. But early on, right, I kind of looked, because it was kind of weird, like, what do I put the subject of this video? You know, early on in 2018, when I got my license, I closed 4 real estate transactions. 4. Didn't really know what I was doing, right? Figuring it out. And thank you to all those people that allowed me to help them. It was much appreciated. And we've been on a rocket ship, you know, kind of ever since. And we're 2024. We just closed 177 contracts. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it was 185 people. So a couple contracts, like me and one of the agents, you know, had buyers and sellers, or I had both, something like that. So actually even helped more than that. But 177 contracts, closed over 600 deals in the last couple years in total. And we've became actually one of the largest real estate teams in the state of Tennessee. Not just East Tennessee, but in the state of Tennessee, and more so on transactions. We're never really going to be one of the teams as far as purchase price, and definitely not commission, because our commission is just often way lower than everybody anyways, which is fine. I don't care about that. The money comes right when you help more people, and that's what we do. So, but that ride has led us into, you know, me growing the team and meeting other people and other agents, and some were friends before real estate and reconnected. Went to college with a guy. We actually played intramural basketball and kind of got reconnected on the same team. And then I've hired, you know, complete strangers, didn't know them, but got their license. And the team, the agents, has really bought in to the concept of that no sales, just service, all about customer experience. Don't worry about the commission. We're not selling anybody anything. We're going to tell them when it's a shitty house. We're going to point out the things wrong with it. We're going to tell them when inspection's bad and we need to walk away. We're going to try to, you know, negotiate the best way possible for them. And they've bought in. I mean, couldn't ask a better buy-in, because my concept is very unique, as it's definitely nothing that is on paper a good business to run, considering we're in sales. Right? We don't like haggle and harass people from a follow-up. You know, we do things a lot different, as we set you up in searches and, you know, tell you what's going to happen next, and we create expectations, and we do a lot. But we don't call you back in a couple days in a week and be like, hey, you see any houses? You want to go look at houses? I don't call you back after a listing appointment and be like, hey, you want to sell your house? You sure? You want to sign here? I don't bring paper. Like, it's so backwards from what anybody on YouTube or a podcast would tell you how to grow, for one, a real estate business, but a sales business. I don't track numbers for them. Now that has to change a little bit with this video and the Zillow partnership, because Zillow's going to track it. But we don't really track numbers. I don't have like sales quotas. I don't have, I got to answer their phone so much, right? I trust them to help people. And that concept has led us with partnering with the biggest names in real estate. And I haven't really ever shared this in a video of all the partnerships that we have. And it's pretty crazy, right? So I have a partnership with essentially realtor.com. When people go there and other websites that are kind of linked to them, that people don't kind of like umbrella up for sellers. All right, I've had that partnership for a couple years. People have questions on want to sell. They'll get connected with me. Right, they have a chance to like go in, see my profile, see my videos. See the different things, and then they'll say, yes, I want Stephen to contact me, and I contact them, and I help people like that all the time. That's one of your biggest names, right? And then Redfin. We just got the Redfin partnership in 2024. I think it was sometime during summer-ish. Pretty crazy that Redfin, which is not necessarily huge over here, but it's really huge on like the west side of the country. Really, really big. Redfin actually, as far as a lot of data, as far as like market data, they're probably even a little bit better, I'll say, respected than Zillow, by a lot of more so like national figures getting who talk about real estate and closings and stuff from a big scale. They make their data very present, and so they're very well respected. And that partnership is awesome. They basically, when people go in and they apply or submit information through Redfin. What is this guy doing? They have a chance to get connected with us, and that's a partnership that you can't just get. That's not a click a button. Yeah, I want to do this. Right? That's like another exclusive partnership that you have to. You have to have a good sized team, and you have to have the reviews, and you have to have the ratings, and you have to have the activity, you have to have the resources to be able to do all this. And that was a huge win for us. I mean, that really, really kind of like catapulted our business a little bit last year, very unexpectedly. And then last year we also got a partnership with Open Door. So Open Door is basically the largest, national player that buys houses for cash for people. And essentially what they were finding out was their cash offers were not very competitive because the market's very, it's just kind of weird right now. Certain areas are still flying off the market, then other things in certain areas you think would be good is not. So it's very weird, but they realized quickly, like, hey, we're not being very competitive, we're not getting as much business, we need to find a local agent that when we present these offers and people don't want them, but they still may want to sell, that we can, that person could help them. And so we became their partner here in the Knoxville area, greater East Tennessee area. When people do inquire and if they want to accept that, we'll help facilitate that cash offer, them accepting it. It has nothing to, I don't get paid to do that. But if they do want to list and stuff like that, we give them the ability to list it, for our prices, which are significantly lower than really everybody. And somebody has to intentionally know what we do and intentionally undercut us. Nobody's going to undercut us without knowing something about us before, right? The commission they're going to give you up front, if they don't know that there's competition, is definitely higher than what we do. So we have that. And then this partnership, right, is pretty crazy. Zillow approached us approached me in December with this opportunity. It was random. Like I say, I had a Zillow account manager in my previous program with them, and I'd asked him about the Flex. He's like, dude, it's an invite only. He's like, don't know much about it. He's like, you can't apply. We can't send you to the top of the list, because I was like, man, that's an awesome program to get referrals from Zillow for essentially for free. And of course, referrals is if they do something, Zillow gets a cut at the end. And then randomly in December, I got an email from him with the opportunity to do this. And what's crazy is in 2024, I didn't really help very many Zillow people. I honestly, I don't know if I maybe did 1, 2, or 3, but this is mainly our team running these, right? I'm at the point now where I'm essentially just helping friends and family, people that message me through my social media, referrals of people. I will help those people. I don't really arguably like go out and just like meet strangers anymore. Not on the regular. I have, at this point we've grown our team. We actually we have our not this coming Monday, but next Monday, we hired a new we're still call it office manager position to give us our fourth back end operations position, and taking our team total up to 15 people, which is wild. I think 15 people growing this company. But yeah, so I don't remember where I just got sidetracked there, but they approached us there with this opportunity, and we looked at it. Actually, I'm very transparent with my agents and my team on numbers and money and payments and how everything works, because I want them to be involved. I would want to see that if I was in their shoes, and that's how I've ran the team. That's how I've designed the team. That's how I'll always kind of run it moving forward. Is there isn't a money doesn't flow up thing, because I don't want to lose good agents. I don't like the recruiting aspect. I don't like necessarily like the training aspect and all that. Like, I do it. It's part of it. I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. And so if you're able to hire good agents and keep good agents and make sure they're getting paid tip-top dollar, nobody else is going to pay them more than what we do, then they don't leave. And so that's been a concept for us there. But so I share the numbers, and we ultimately chose not to do the partnership. And I think Zillow was pretty shocked by that. When I went back to them, I was like, hey, it's just not for us. And I told them why, and I felt like that they understood our valid reasons. And they asked, it's like, well, what can we do? They come back like a week later. It's like, well, what can we do to make this work? And, I was like, well, the referral thing, just the numbers aren't good for what we do and how we do it, because we don't charge these people an outrageous commission like most people in this program spread out around the country are going to do, because they want to offset that kind of Zillow referral payment. I was like, we're not going to do it. I'm not going to sacrifice customer service. I'm not going to sacrifice the pay to my agents. So ultimately, this is a massive pay cut to me personally, or being carried. So this is a pay cut. Like, I'm the one losing here. And they're like, well, we can't change the numbers. It's basically that across the board. And so I was like, hey, I get it, right? They said, well, what else? Can you come up with something? So I kind of sat down and took a couple days to really think about it, and went back to them with something I didn't think they would entertain. But they did. And so they said, all right, we'll kind of put this on a 90-day trial program. If you guys are willing to start to see how this goes, if it goes good, great, we'll keep it, and we'll actually continue to excel and extend and provide more referrals. But if not, then we're not going to do. And again, basically it was just, I don't want to go over the details of what I kind of said. Keep that a little bit more private. But, the agents knew, and that for them, it made sense for them, and it made sense for me. And so here we go, right? And now we've been kind of going through the process of getting everything ready. It's a huge launch, to be a part of this. And it's not like exclusive. There is for sure one other player here in Knoxville that we do know about. Don't know about anybody else, but once we get in, we'll kind of know. And they match your numbers up, and but all this, this is an invite. Getting back to my agents, this is an invite because of our Zillow metrics, our survey scores, right? So when people call us, they get a survey score 1 day, 15 day, and 45 days after they have touched base with us. And they get a chance to rate us. And our survey scores, since I've been a part of this years, has been like 99 percentile. We are always like in the top of across the country in these survey scores. And it's because we're genuinely here to help. We're genuinely here to answer people's questions. And people like that. We get back to them. We help them. We don't sell them. And so our survey scores have always been through the roof, and let alone the metrics of, our concept of, hey, we're not going out to sell you anything. We're going out to, to help you and point out things. And, ultimately, if you never call us back after the first time we meet you and show you a house, all right, well, that's the end of it for us, right? We don't haggle, harass you. So it's a very, again, very unique concept that even whenever I was telling them during this program of like some of the unique things that we do that, that maybe that they want us to do, that I'm not really going to change. And they said, well, you guys are one of the most successful teams around the country as far as your metrics. Because I think the way that we do things is that. And people want to do business with people they like and trust, and they know it's not going to screw them over, and that's our job, is to help people, and for them to know that we're not going to screw them over. We're not here for a payday. We would rather much rather help you buy the better house for 50, 100, whatever money less, than to try to sell you an upper house just for the commission and payday. We don't care about that. We help the $25,000 land call the same as the $2 million lakefront call, right? And I'm big on that one of helping everybody the same. I don't do anything special for the $2 million buyer. I don't do anything that's special for the $25,000 land buyer. We treat everybody the same. And the agents really who have been running the Zillow leads for really the past 2 years mainly. All this is on them, right? Their success here is the reason why we have this opportunity. It has nothing to do with arguing me, because I wasn't doing enough Zillow to help the metrics, or I wasn't. From a training standpoint, maybe philosophy and helping negotiate, right? And getting all the calls from the agent. How do I do this? How do I do that? Like that. Yes, I helped that. I helped get people, kind of to the closing table and facilitating, making phone calls and all that stuff. But I wasn't out there, running, meeting strangers all the time like they were. So it's really a credit to the agents that we have this opportunity. I think that's why the next meeting that we have, I have some notes to talk about them, and it's really what it is. Guys, like I didn't do this, you guys did, because I really wasn't running the Zillow leads. But this has a chance to kind of take us not only from, at this point, when I was talking with the account manager, who they've kind of put us on, kind of a growth advisor is what you would call it. We're one of the smallest teams they've invited to this program. And I say one of the smallest teams. I mean, when we got this, we were at 11. We have since hired three agents, and then one more operations person. She starts again, not this Monday, but next Monday. I think the team will be really excited about. That'll really help, because we're at the point, I'm not exaggerating this. Like on a Monday when our operations stuff comes in, we usually have 4, 5, 6, 7 contracts from the weekend. And that's a lot of paperwork. That's a lot of organization. That's a lot of stuff for them to do. So we had to grow that operation side in order to call it scaling, right? In order to be able to grow. From what Zillow is going to give us, we had to kind of make this next step, make that financial investment, in arguably what we would call as, overhead, which is an operations person. They don't do money generating activity. But the way I see it is the role, the responsibility, what they're going to do, should, it may not on paper generate money, but it will help the agents, help them be more efficient, more organized, and it should arguably help them grow their businesses, which then arguably does make money. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but I do. Just want to talk about this. We'll start this at the end of February, and looking forward to this. To be one of the few partners in this area that they've chosen to do this with, and it seems like they're excited, and we're excited. And I just wanted to do a video rambling on a little bit about it. So again, as always, guys, thank you, whether you follow our social media here and you were a Zillow connection at some point, or just a referral. A lot of these people that we've helped over the years and not helped over the years from Zillow has become friends. I feel like almost all my clients have become friends in certain aspects, and come back around for me to help their friends and family, or call me back whenever they want to buy and sell again, and that's much appreciated. And I really do feel that, growing this concept of helping people in real estate instead of selling people is starting to get a little bit more momentum as far as other agents, like not even with me, but like stranger agents, kind of starting to take on. I do kind of see it a little bit, and I like it. I love talking and working with other agents who are hustling and doing what's right by their client and communicating. But at the same time, I see agents all the time like, man, if sellers and buyers could just see what their agent is actually doing, or in most cases not doing behind the scenes, man, a lot of y'all would be firing your agents and suing them, because there's some pretty bad people out there. Now, there's a lot of good ones, but I was doing a lot of videos in like 2021 or 2021 when I really went first year full time. I was doing a ton of videos bringing all that to light, and because I was kind of still so new and learning the business, it was shocking to me when I was running into these lazy and bad agents and shady ones, and so I was just barking at them on these live videos. But I've since it's kind of like it's a part of the industry, and I always get a good kick out of when we hire new agents that don't have little to no experience, and they start doing this activity like, Steven, I can't get a hold of this agent. Steven, this agent won't give me this document. Steven, like I don't understand, like how is this agent able to be successful whenever they're just not communicating? And I laugh because I've been through it, and I was just as shocked as they were, learning. And some of the names, the big names too, are just terrible at this job, and it's almost hard to be a bad real estate agent. And when I say that is, if you just communicate and you just show houses, you're pretty much going to be a good real estate agent. But most people just aren't willing to do that. So, ramble done. Really excited for this program. And as always, guys, questions on real estate, insurance, always happy to help. Be here to kind of educate people, let people know how it works so they don't end up getting screwed. See ya.